research analyst for Gartner in the semiconductor group. Today, for the next 45 minutes, I will take you through some of the thoughts that we have in regards to the cloud computing and the way that cloud computing is reshaping the IT landscape and how that impacts the semiconductor content that is used within the IT infrastructure. First and foremost, let me draw an analogy here for those of us in the semiconductor area. The cloud movement from what currently we know as an IT that is in the enterprise world to the cloud-based services is nothing new for semiconductors. Most semi vendors are familiar with the past where a semiconductor company had to have a fab in order to do operations. And today, most of the semiconductor vendors are fabless, and most of that fabrication has moved to the fab houses. So the analogy here is the cloud is almost the same, where the IT is moving to an outside vendor and it's going to be provided as a service. So let us take a look at some of the perspectives that will be impacted by the cloud. Of course, we can see that revenue models will be changing. The BPO delivery will be changing. IT outsourcing will become a model that will follow the industrialization model. ASP, software as a service, and next-generation services will be built around cloud, and online computing and storage will become a predominant way of doing computing as we move forward. So if we look at the impact of the cloud, what are the revenue model impact? It's a shift of delivery of IT-based services from a direct payment to an advertisement supported. That phenomenon is already seen. If you look at the public cloud, on the private cloud, we potentially are seeing cases where the enterprises will be able to subsidize some of the cost of their IT with the usage of the commercials and advertisements. The BPO delivery, a non-proprietary method of delivery of business process services in common, IT outsourcing into industrialization, a mean of exploiting the IT outsourcing as a service and having a much wider scale. That would be something that cloud would enable. And the ASP SaaS reduction over. So what we're looking at is a further stage in the evolution of these services. And of course, online compute and storage is a delivery method of cost-effective shared access on a lower end of IT resources. So optimally, we were going to have models looking at this that are either subsidized or lower cost, and the users can enjoy those cost benefits. So let us take a look at how big is the cloud, because, of course, from perspective of understanding the scope of this, we'll have to understand what are the business opportunities and how big it is. Today, as we look at it, cloud-based advertisement has reached its optimal levels, and it is forecasted for us to, by Gartner, to be reaching $80 billion in 2013. This is probably one of the fastest-growing areas, which is via advertisement. A lot of the cloud services are being subsidized, and hence many of the equipment that we see deployed out there that will leverage the semiconductors that the semiconductor vendors are providing are being used in this kind of environment. So first and most importantly, let us take a look at Gartner's definition of cloud computing and the critical attributes, and from there drive down to the impacts on each and every segment. So first and foremost important attribute is service-based. So the consumer concerns are abstracted from the provider's concern through service interfaces. This is a service-based environment, and we're going to be secondly, it's scalable and elastic, so it's a service scale on demand to add or remove the resources, so you pay for what you use, and what you do not use, you relinquish the usage, and you will not pay for it. And next, it's shared. Services are shared through a pool of resources to build economies of scale. That's really important, one of the most important areas here. And metered by use, so you pay for what you use. You do not have things just standing around and not, paying for what you do not need. And of course, it has to be internet technology. That's the media that you would reach out to the cloud. So as a whole definition, Gartner defines cloud computing as a style of computing where scalable and elastic IT-related capabilities are provided as a service, keyword, to external customers using internet technology. So that's encompassing the 5 key attributes they've identified that justifies the cloud. So today we're going to be looking at a few key issues in respect to the semiconductor world, and one of them first and foremost is how will the areas of computing, communication, and storage be impacted by cloud technology? And to drive down to the semiconductor level, what are the key criteria for the semiconductors of the future that are going to be used in the cloud? And then we're going to be looking at what will the market impact be on major